unboxing the Razer DeathAdder V2X HyperSpeed. Quite the name. If you want to check it out, links below, but let's get this unboxed. A little sticker right here, pulling that away, and let's open up this Razer mouse. These boxes always break, but let's get into it. All right, opening it up, we've got a battery here, which means this is probably a battery-powered mouse. Manual right here. Now, the benefit to a battery is you basically get unlimited battery life because it's very easy typically to replace those batteries. Little Razer logo symbol there, never seen that before. And then the mouse itself, how does it feel? Overall, fairly light. A very nice, like, grippy texture to the whole mouse that I really appreciate. Especially in this lighting, it looks very good. Now the texture is really quite interesting. I want to see if I can bring it close enough so that you can see it's a grippier texture, feels huge in hand. It actually feels quite similar to the DeathAdder V3, which makes sense as this is the V2, although the DeathAdder V3 does not have this kind of look to it, which is very DeathAdder-y, which they went away from. But overall, I think it looks really cool. I like these side buttons there. Look at those side buttons. Very good and in place to be able to click those. I don't know how useful, as that's pretty far to go over, but scroll wheel feels pretty Razer. Side buttons feel very Razer. This side feels almost identical to the V3 except for these flare outs right here. But if you just kind of cut that off, yeah, that's pretty much what it is now. Then on the bottom, we have two skates here, one around the center and then one big one around the bottom, which does seem like you would probably glide well. However, I think this is where we pop this open, and that's awesome. Does it take two AA's? Oh no, you can either do a AAA or a AA. We saw that in another one of their mice. Then we also get dongle storage in there, which is super nice. I always love dongle storage. Let's get this plugged in though. This comes with a battery, so let's pop that out of there and put that in this sucker. Let's see how it looks. Is there any RGB? All right, now let's turn it on to Bluetooth. There's one little tiny light right there. I think that's all. I don't think there's any real RGB on this. You can see now it's a green light. Yeah, don't think there's any RGB on it. Don't hate it though, because it is fairly light and quite large. However, with that, let's get to the full review. The Razer DeathAdder V2X HyperSpeed. This comes in at a price tag of $59.99 originally, but this has actually been dropped since it's a little bit of an older mouse now to $50. That's a pretty good deal. The sensor here is Razer's 14K optical sensor. This hits a 1000 Hertz polling rate, 14,000 DPI, and 300 IPS with 35 Gs of acceleration. Build quality here is solid with a very minimal design being almost entirely made of matte black plastic, except for a few glossy accents. This also has a very prominent texture, feeling almost chalky, but definitely not uncomfortably abrasive. I actually really liked that feeling of the texture. That was very good, especially since my hands tend to sweat quite a bit. As for the shape, this is a right-handed ergonomic mouse, and it's not my preferred size and shape for my medium hand size. And while the fit in my hand is actually very, very comfortable because it's very large and ergonomic, it is a larger feeling. You do feel like you're gripping something large. Now, like the DeathAdder V3, it has a very, very similar feel to the grip, which I really liked that one. This one I like a little bit less, but it's also like a third of the price. Do keep in mind though, this is a heavier mouse, and the DeathAdder V3 is definitely a much lighter product. So I did prefer that one, but if you add a lithium battery to this mouse, it changes it substantially. Now, for the skates, these are 100% PTFE, with two on the top, one around the sensor, and then one large skate around the bottom. This glides well. It's more controlled due to its bigger footprint, but really no complaints here. As for connectivity, this is wireless with a 2.4 GHz USB dongle, and this also has a Bluetooth connection if you so choose to use that. And similar to the Orakai, this is a battery-operated mouse, so there's no wired connection, and this essentially has that infinite battery life. If you keep some batteries next to you, you swap them out so quickly. That is definitely a pro. I've done that a few times during gaming, and it's a whole lot less of a hassle just pop a new battery in than it is to plug that cable in, and if it's not an ultralight cable, it's kind of going to degrade your gaming experience. So that can actually be a pretty big pro. For programmable buttons, this has two standard extra buttons on the left side, then two more on the side of the left click, which is definitely an interesting design. The two on the left click are angled slightly down, which makes it harder to use in game and kind of a stretch for your fingers unless you have bigger hands, but for DPI and productivity, they are definitely nice to have. And actually, I would prefer to have them than rather not have them, because something like editing in Premiere Pro or just on desktop, being able to change those shortcuts, do things like that, That is actually nice, but probably wouldn't use them in games with my normal sized hands. If you had large hands, possibly. For the switches, these are Razer's Gen 2 mechanical switches. Even though they are the same as the Orakai, the way these are implemented makes them quite a bit lighter with a slightly higher sound, but they still maintain that crispiness. Overall, very nice. I think everyone will like these switches. The scroll wheel here is also very similar to the Orakai V2. It's a bit lighter, but it has nice tactility and pretty similar spacing, so my feelings are pretty much the same as the Orakai. Now, weight here all depends on the battery again. With the regular AA battery that this comes with, which is non-lithium, this weighs in at about 100 grams, which is a considerable amount. However, it definitely feels lighter than 100 grams with that AA because it is a larger mouse. So it feels more similar to like 80 grams, not 100. So don't let that absolutely turn you off of this.
Again, if you want to check out this exact same product, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, Canada, and international links. And if you want to check out my main channel with longer form content, you can check that out right here. But this is a consumer tech review, HyperSpeed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.